now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaker and budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also on Deezer and Stitcher. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a man on a mission. He's from Cortez, Florida, and goes by the name of Train. He's a gifted and charismatic artist. He's a lover of classic rock, and he's got a purpose with inspiration, spirituality, patriotism, and he's just got a very, very great story to tell as well, too. And how he got the name, you're going to find out. And this guy just loves keeping this train going and going and going. And this guy is definitely born in the wild. We'll talk about that. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful state of Florida, here he is, the Train Man, Anthony Train Caruso, part of the 308 Ghost Train. Train, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, man, I've never had a welcome like that, brother. That's one of the best ones yet. Thank you so much. I'm honored and humbled to be brought on in such a fashion, man. So how are you doing today, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm actually humbled to be talking to you with having this wonderful train that just keeps going and going and going. And, of course, you're part of the 308 Ghost Train, and you're from Cortez, Florida, and you've got an album out called Born in the Wild, and you've got Warren, 21 Guns, and A Million Tears. And, of course, you've got a lot of great things in the works, and, of course, up and coming, and you've got a very unique story to tell. And first of all, just tell us how you got started.
Well, I mean, I got started, playing music and just like everybody else. And what happened was, you get in this business, you have to persevere. It's kind of like being a boxer. You have to fight your way all the way through this business. And I wrote in Nashville for a while. And, writing for other people was, not, really satisfying me because I felt like something kept gnawing at me inside, kept pushing me. And in 2015, I had open heart surgery and I actually died on the table. And when I woke up and recovered, I said, man, I got something I got to do. I'm here to finish something. So I went to Nashville and, of course, started doing my thing and writing songs. And last year, something very magical happened. I won, as one of the co-writers, I won a Song of the Year at the Posse Awards for a pop song called We Are Us. And I had written a little tune that's called I'll Unbreak Your Heart at the time. I had just wrote it, and I got a chance to perform it live at the Posse's. And I got a standing ovation afterwards. And I was like, wow, really? I was like, really? I mean, I know the song's good, but it's just, you don't realize when you're doing something how it affects other people. You may know inside your heart that you got something good going on, but until you see it in other people's eyes, then you realize what's going on. So the next night I actually won the award. And after that, everybody wanted to book me all over the country. So I kind of got this, I don't know, something came inside of me. I call it the ghost. It's a 308 Ghost Train that was born that night because I feel like, the 308 is from, the scripture from John 308, which the wind blows where it pleases. No one knows where it comes and goes, but it's in everyone born of the Spirit. And I always felt like that wherever I was needing to be, I'd be pushed there somehow or show up there. Or just crazy how I would always find myself in the right place at the right time for whatever reason. Whether it would be to find a song idea, whether it be to meet somebody who was going to take me to the next place or the next level, it always happened. And I always felt like a lot of times I write some of the songs, the melodies, I write them in my sleep. I'll wake up with the melodies in my head or a subject matter or something. So I always felt like the ghost was my musical director. So even though the band can change around me sometimes from city to city, me and the ghost remain the same, and therefore that's how the 308 Ghost Train was born. So that's the whole idea behind the moniker of 308 Ghost Train. So when I went back home, after I won the Posse Award, and in a week I wrote the Born in the Wild album, which was really phenomenal. The songs just came to me. It was like something happened, Mike, I can't explain to you. It was divine. It was a divine intervention of the most unbelievable kind that, I have to pay testament to, because, man, I know it was special. And I feel so blessed and humbled that I was able to be the receiver of the gift in order to become the messenger of the song. Mm-hmm. So, I received the music and the words, and I put it together, and of course went to Nashville, where I record at a lot. I record all my albums there, and with my good buddy Chip Martin, and we put the band together, and we got in the studio, and we cut the album, Born in the Wild. And I have to tell you, on May 24th, I released the first song, 21 Guns and a Million Tears, which you've already mentioned is my rocket ship patriotic song, which is probably in 2020 will end up going through the roof too, I can imagine, because of the climate of patriotism right now in the country. I'm looking for it to do great things. Mm-hmm. It did go to #1 in the Midwest, in a small independent chart out of the Rust Belt in Chicago area, in July, but it hasn't really gotten a chance to do its thing. And then after that, I'll Break Your Heart did the same thing. It went to #1 twice.
Wow.
In the Midwest. Yeah, once it dropped to 13 and went back. Mm-hmm. So I've had some really, really interesting things happen that have been not so much yet the full national spectrum, but really close to getting on its way to being in that national spotlight. I think, in just a few short months, we've had like over 130,000 Spotify listeners and streams. And we've had no kind of label activity, any kind of label behind us at all, or any kind of, major marketing money or anything like that. It's all been organic.
Nice.
And it's because the music's been resonating with people, Mike. People love the messages in the music. I get asked all the time, what's the difference between me and the other billion people out there that are putting out music? I said, well, I don't know if there's any difference between us, but I know this about me. I feel like I got something to say, and I'm not just saying something. And I think that's what makes the difference between those that do and those that don't, because the good Lord's given me a message for people to hear, and whatever it is, it's resonating with them. So I'm blessed, man. I'm going to tell you what, when you ask me how am I doing today, dude, I'm doing great. I mean, I got nothing to complain about. I mean, I have been blessed deeply, and I look forward to what is to come. With this, the new EP comes out in January. It's got another 5 songs on it.
Wow.
I believe are just as impactful, are going to be just as impactful. Of course, the new Christmas tune is out right now. The rockin' Christmas tune, Santa Bought a Yacht, which is really receiving a lot of great accolades. I think Scope Magazine has called it one of the best songs, Christmas songs ever. Hollywood Digest said the same. I was getting comparisons to greats like the Beach Boys and Little Saint Nick, and even to Santa Baby, and
oh my goodness,
I mean, like songs that are like legendary and iconic, and to Jerry Lee Lewis and Chuck Berry, and I'm like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? I'm telling them, saying, stop. You can't say those things, man. You can't talk like that.
Oh, my goodness.
It was almost blasphemous. Like, I'm like, no, you can't say that. And then I realized they wouldn't say it, man. If they actually honestly believe it, because, music journalists can't do that. They've got to be real and 100 with what they're doing, as they say. Mm-hmm. So I am honored, man, about all the accolades I've been getting. I've gotten a lot of great write-ups on a lot of the songs. People have just embraced 21 Guns. They've embraced Warren. They've embraced I'll Break Your Heart, the messages. They've embraced Born in the Wild. And that's just a silly song about my life.
Wow,
and it's like a biography.
That is something. And should we play 21 Guns and a Million Tears for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Great,
sure,
okay.
that's
And then we'll
great.
play Santa Bought a Yacht later on. Right now, here's 21 Guns and Million Tears, the 308 Ghost Train, right here on the Mike Wagner Show. Well, that's a portion of the song, too, 21 Guns and Million Tears, and you can find it on Spotify. And where else can they find that song?
They can find that song on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, anywhere you can find, any platform that you can find any music on, you can find 21 Guns and a Million Tears on. You can also see the official video on YouTube, which is, there's a video out there that we did, and it's sitting at the 308 Ghost Train channel on YouTube. You can see a lot of the videos there, including Santa Bought a Yacht and I'll Unbreak Your Heart and Warn, which is another great song too. You can really get an idea of the artistry by going to YouTube if you'd like to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's great. And we'll also talk about some of your other work as well, too. And later we'll play the full version of Santa Bought a Yacht. That's one of the purposes, by the way. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on YouTube channel. We're here with the Train Man from 308 Ghost Train, Anthony Caruso, best known as Train. And, of course, we play a little bit of 21 Guns and a Million Tears. And he also got Warren as well, too, from Born in the Wild. And he's also got Santa Bought a Yacht, which we'll play in just a minute. And, of course, we talked about some of the influences. And who are some of your favorite artists and singers growing up in your day?
Well, I'll tell you, I was heavily influenced by a wide variety of musical artists. I mean, I found 8-track tapes that were sitting around of old stuff, and I got really introduced to, some really cool stuff like Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis. And, of course, the Beatles taught me a little bit about songwriting. And then, I got into a lot of the one-hit wonders of the 70s, gave me melodic. I guess they gave me those ideas about how to formulate the songs. But I guess the groups that really, really impacted me the most growing up, I guess were, like CCR, John Fogerty. I get compared to him a lot sometimes. I get compared to Bon Jovi a lot, which was a very big part of my life, that music. Bruce Springsteen. John Mellencamp, I get compared to him a lot too. I mean, I don't know whether it's because those songs, the songwritings and the sounds are kind of similar, familiar, but they were kind of very heavy. They very heavily impacted my love for that style of music. I love that classic vibe, man. I think that's why I went that way. There's a group of kids from Frankenmuth, Michigan called Greta Van Fleet. I don't know if you've heard of them, but you should check them out, Mike. They sound like Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they absolutely sound like Led Zeppelin.
I've actually heard of Greta Van Fleet, and my daughter introduced me to Greta Van Fleet, and she's a singer-songwriter herself, growing up in Bismarck, North Dakota, after her early days in Chicago. Now she's in Portland, and Greta Van Fleet is like one of the big influences. I thought, now that you brought it up again, I'll have to check out Greta Van Fleet once again. So that just brought up. It's like, wow, amazing.
Yeah, and what they did was, they basically opened up the door for, guys like me that have a style of music, because there's a group of people in this country that are disenfranchised with rock music. Everything's being spoon-fed to them under the moniker of something like rock or country or whatever, but it's really all pop based.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's all running together and sounding the same. And there's a lot of people that have bad taste in their mouth about it. So we're getting a chance to go back and give them those sounds that they remember in the days when, man, the good times and what, you know, the stuff that really, really fed their hearts and souls. And I think, you know, I give Greta Van Fleet a lot of the respect and a lot of the, I guess they kind of gave me the confidence to say, yo, I'm going with this because I believe there's a market for this. And everywhere I go in the country, Mike, everywhere, people come up to me and say, thank you so much for playing. I love this style of music. I love your stuff. Man, I'm so glad somebody's playing this kind of music. And I just couldn't believe how hungry they were for it. And they are. There's a portion of America that is extremely starving for this style and type of music.
Mm-hmm. And of course, too, that you've been all over the country and everything else. What are some of your favorite places to play?
Well, I mean, some of my favorite places to play would be, you know, Whiskey A Go-Go. I'd say probably Warrior on the River in Tallahassee was a great place to play. I played in a number of festivals, and I would say those are probably two of my favorites. I would like to play at some other one. There's one place I do want to play. It's my favorite place. It's Red Rocks.
Oh, yes.
If I get the Red Rocks, I've made it.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm figuring. If I get the Red Rocks and the Hollywood Bowl, I've made it. So those are two places that are on my list. So
that is amazing, too. And, of course, we'll talk about your Christmas song as well, too, just in time for Christmas season, and makes me want to buy one instead. Heck with a reindeer. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. Download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also on Deezer, Stitcher, Shoutcast, Outbox, and more. Also, take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Cortez, Florida native Anthony Train Caruso, best known as the Train from 308 Ghost Train. Just a fantastic story. He tells about how he got the name, how he was inspired, and lists a bit of 21 Guns and Million Tears. And, of course, here's also a Christmas song that makes you want to go get a special one and ditch the reindeer. Santa Baudiat right here with the 308 Ghost Train on the Mike Wagner Show.
Santa Baudiat traded in that old sleigh. He sold his house at the pole, now he's anchored up a Blue Chair Bay. He laid off the yells and now the stocking shelves at Circle K. And Rudy got a DUI trying to land a BNA. Santa took a swig and passed it on. Said it's all gonna hell since Amazon. I said, Santa, what you gonna do? Off his Ray-Bans and looked at a bikini or two. He said, I got a new list, I've checked it once or twice. And it's time for me to be more naughty than nice. Well, I've seen the rocket tops, but you know I've never been high. I slipped down a few chimneys, but you know I never stayed the night. There's a million other things I've been aiming to do. Well, I've done a lot of giving, so I'd like a little Christmas too. He took another swig and passed it on. Said it's all gonna hell since Amazon. I said, Santa, what you gonna do? He put off his Ray-Bans and looked at a bikini or two. He said, I got a new list, I checked it once or twice. And it's time for me to be more naughty than nice. chest, said I'll see you boys around. It won't be hard to find me. Santa's always coming to town. Well, Santa, what you gonna do? He pulled off his Ray-Bans and looked at a bikini or two. He said, I got a new list. I tricked it once or twice. And it's time for me to be more naughty than nice. Santa, whoa, whoa, Santa. I said, Santa, what you gonna do? Whoa, Santa, whoa, whoa, Santa. I said, Santa, what you gonna do?
Ho, ho, ho. Santa bought a yacht here on the Mike Wagner Show at the 308 Coast Train. I was just watching this video here, and Santa says, the heck with the reindeer, the heck with the elves, stocking the shelves, and I think the reindeer tried to pull a police car, a Subaru. Oh, my goodness. I just cracked up. It's so funny. It makes me want to get a yacht and say heck with the reindeer.
Yeah, the Santa. I decided to retire Santa. He's just been too. It's been too long. He's been giving gifts, and he can't compete with Amazon anyway. So might as well go ahead and let the guy have a good time. There
you go. And of course, let the reindeer run free, and the elves can stock shelves. And
the reindeer actually got a DUI. He was trying to fly in to land at BNA, drinking a little rum around his neck there, and the sheriff pulled him over and wrote him a ticket. So that was fun too. That was a fun thing to do. That shooting that whole video was one of the funnest things I'd ever done. I'll tell you, that was really, really cool. And that's I get to thank my good friend Flip Licking at Stable Productions in Seneca, Nebraska. He actually has reindeer on his farm that he takes around to kids with cancer and wounded warriors every year to kind of brighten up there. He's really, really a great guy, and he has a farm full of exotic animals. And we got a chance to meet him and do that. And I'll tell you that Mike, that was really, really fun that day. And the sheriff from Hooker County came out, and he actually played the sheriff and wrote the reindeer DUI. We actually have the complaint form. He wrote us a complete DUI complaint form with the reindeer's height, weight. I mean, we have it in our archives as one of the memorabilia, which is really cool. So it was a really fun time.
And could you imagine was Rudolph having the red nose? Like, what did you have to drink, huh? That made you have a red nose.
He had. Matter of fact, if you look at it closely, go back and look at it closely. He has a bottle of spiced rum around his neck hanging. If you go back and look at. Matter of fact, if you look, my good Sheriff Win Weens, my good friend, he'll go down and look underneath and grab it. I have some of the outtakes somewhere, but he grabs and shakes his head and just says, you got to be kidding me. It's actually really funny, man. It was really fun. It was a fun day. It's a fun time. We put 5,486 miles. We drove all the way up and touched South Dakota, Nebraska, all the way down to Louisiana, went back to Florida, and it was shot in 4 states. And we had a great time in 12 days, so it was a pretty cool deal.
Wow, that is something. And, of course, they can watch on YouTube. And is that on any album that you have right now, or is it just a single?
No, it is out as a single right now, just for the Christmas holidays. It was the video was released on November 22nd on YouTube, and the single was released last Friday. And so on Friday, the single dropped on iTunes, Google Play, you name it. It's on everything. It's on every platform that you could, purchase music on or listen or stream music, Spotify. Everything should be under. All you have to do is look under 308 Ghost Train, and you'll find it. I mean, it's not hard to find. I know because I'm challenged a little bit, and I find it. So if I can find it, the whole world can find it.
And, of course, we'll talk about your project as well, too. Possible upcoming tour. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking our budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Check our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Anthony Train Caruso from Cortez, Florida, getting on that 308 Ghost Train. The train man has really been great today, and makes me want to buy a yacht from Santa. And, of course, he's got Warren and 21 Guns and A Million Tears. And let's talk about your upcoming album as well, too. You mentioned, tell us more about that, and when do we expect to be released?
Okay, well, the first song off the next EP, I believe, is going to be released the day after Christmas. It's called Hey Lonely. And I believe it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good one, Mike. It really is. I'll give you a little hint. I actually personified lonely. Me and my co-writers, we went down and went into a room, and I don't know. It just happened, and I turned lonely into a person. So, giving you a little heads up. You're the first one in the country I've told that to. So you're getting that exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't told anybody about this song yet, and it hasn't been played for anybody yet, except for the people in the camp. So I'll send you a copy of it prior to the release so that you can have it for your podcast.
That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll be coming out December 26th, and that's a real heartfelt song that I really believe in, and then I have a brand new song called Bleed Over Me, which comes out after that, and that's more about basically taking the pain from people, love, repairing their love and taking the pain and joining hearts together and stitching them together as one. So it's another really important song that I wrote for my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real, personal, touching tune. I think there's three singles on this one that'll actually go to singles. So I'm really excited for that. I was so fortunate that the first EP actually had all 5 songs became singles. Now I don't know if you know, but and that doesn't happen a lot. That you go and you that all 5 songs can stand on their own in some way or another, but man, these songs have actually garnered a lot of fan base, and they get different people and different demographics for each song. This is really something else. Like if you go to Spotify, the people that listen to I'll Unbreak Your Heart are a completely set of different people that listen to 21 Guns and A Million Tears, and some are crossover from I'll Unbreak Your Heart to Warren, but there's a whole different set of people that listen to that style. And Born in the Wild brings in a whole different group of people, and I mean, and This Is My Home brings in a whole different group of people because that's the cancer fight song, for the people with cancer. It's the anthem that I wrote for those fighting cancer. So, they all touch different lives, and it all touches a different demographic and base. My demographics are like really crazy.
Wow,
they go from like 25 to over 65.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I mean it's been unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
How the different songs touch different lives. It's been very humbling and honoring. I can tell you that, man.
It sounds like to me you write from the heart, and it's tied into heart surgery. It seems to have an interesting twist or connotation to it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I call it a seventh sense. Everybody talks about the sixth sense. Well, I think there's a seventh sense. I feel like I got like a direct phone line to God. Like I lay in bed at night and he gives me a call, and the ghost gives me a call, and I wake up and I call the God. I call it the ghost.
Uh-huh.
So I wake up in the morning like I've been having a dream or conversation with somebody, and I'll have this melody, and the song will be in my head, and they might even just be the start of it or whatever. And all of a sudden I'll go into. I got a little iRig studio. I hook up, my Apple Mac computer. I get my guitar out and I start playing it. Before you know it, man, the songs are written, and it's crazy. And sometimes it doesn't happen to sleep. Sometimes I'll walk into a room that I don't know why I'm there, and I'll see a sign or something on the wall, like a saying, or I can't. I don't know. It's some of it is the most unbelievably divine intervention I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, a lot of it does come from somewhere beyond me. and maybe the heart is, it's the messages are real. It's message oriented rock with a classic vibe, and it's it's not necessarily meant for me to understand who's going to get touched by the message. I may never know, but it touches people and it touches their lives, and what it does for them is the real gift that God has given.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can help one person stop or make their day a little bit brighter, or change their thought process for 1 minute to give them hope, then I guess I've done my job.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, too, and how you touch lives and everything else. Of all the 5 songs that you have written and being placed all over Spotify, iTunes, and everything else, what would you say the highest ranking song it is, and what would it be, and what's its highest peak?
I'll Unbreak Your Heart off the first EP has definitely shown itself to be the most universally accepted song from out of all the songs. Because it's about doing something that everybody in this world can identify with. We've all had broken hearts. And this song is another way of saying that by saying, I'll unbreak your heart. The song peaked at number 1 and went to number 1 in this Midwest chart. And then, it dropped to number 13. And then we put the video out. And I don't know what happened. And the video got a bunch of hits in one day. I think like 14,000. And before you know it, it started to climb back up this chart in the Midwest again. So it rested at number 1 twice this year.
Wow.
So I would have to say and I think it's had over 50-some thousand streams on its own on Spotify, over 50,000. So 50,000 people on Spotify without any marketing or any promotion at all have found that song and have shared it or have told other people, and it's been growing exponentially. And it's only been out since the end of July, I believe. So it hasn't really had a chance to really even peak itself nationally yet. So hopefully, whatever's going to happen in 2020, these songs will come back around, and you'll see them all get their shot in the national spotlight. But right now, I think I'll Unbreak Your Heart is probably going to be the best song on the album as far as performance goes. With people. That
is fantastic too. And of course, you talked about having having a huge base in the Midwest. What about other parts of the United States, and what about other countries where your music is being heard? What's the most popular overseas, in what country?
I'm pretty popular in like Germany and Holland. I'm pretty popular in believe it or not in Indonesia.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really popular. I'm really popular there. I think I'm being played in 69 countries. But in the United States right now, my number 1 cities used to be Seattle, Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. But now my number 1 city right now is Phoenix, Arizona. And then a bunch of other cities, but Phoenix, Arizona is a big fan base for me. Seattle used to be a very big fan base for me with 21 Guns. I'm going to say it's because of the style of the rock and roll, and because it's a driving little tune, and but Seattle, Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago. I mean, I've got cities, Mike, I've never even heard of them before. Some of these cities that like Trumbull. I think it's called Trumbull, Connecticut, and just little cities like in Virginia and all over the Northeast. There's these little cities. I'm being played very heavily in the middle part of Pennsylvania. The Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Williamsport, like that whole middle, central, northeast section of the state. I'm getting a lot of airplay there.
Nice.
Yeah. So and if you look at every week it changes. Like 1 week it'll be the West Coast heavy. Next week it'll be Midwest heavy, and then Northeast heavy, and then South heavy. The reason I went up to the Heartland was because I was a little upset I didn't have a lot of fans there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to finish the video, and I was looking for snow and a reindeer, and I told Amanda. I said, let's get in the car and go up to the Heartland. Let's go shake hands and kiss babies and win some fans over. And man, boy, did we ever do it?
And a lot of
we
snow
met
and
so many
reindeer to
people.
go with it. You're right for the winter season. Lots of it.
Yeah, we actually, that was the best decision we made, because we not only came out of there with the video and all the scenes that we needed that you saw, but we came out of there with a lot of fans. We left there with a ton of fans, and I have to say, man, I'm so blessed that I was able to do that, because sometimes that's what it takes, is that personal interaction to get things going. And now the Heartland is starting to pick up on 308 Ghost Train. What was an interesting story about that is my girlfriend Amanda's from a place called Hay Springs, Nebraska, and Seneca and all that area where the reindeer was. Well, I didn't know this, but that's the 308 area code.
Oh, my goodness. 308? What a coincidence. Yeah. Do they know it's John 308 or something? Wow.
Yeah, they listen, I got to tell you this. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's by design, because I don't think anything is by coincidence. But when I got there, Flicking from the reindeer place says to me, he says, "So you're 308 Ghost Trains? That's because you're from this area code." And I looked back at Amanda. She does my videography too, and I said, "Why didn't you tell?" I never knew. She says, "Well, I don't know. I never thought about it." But she's from the 308 area code. That's where she was born. So
wow,
I don't know, man. That's a crazy, crazy little story too about that trip. Is that? So I told them all the way up there in the 308 to say, "Listen, if you want to claim me, you got me. You got me. I'm your 308 Ghost Train." So matter of fact, anybody who wants to claim me can have me, Mike. I'll be honest with you. So it's all good. But I thought that was a very cool thing, man. That's where I was shooting that video. And I had no idea.
Man, that's something. I'll tell you one thing. You talk about Heartland fans and fans all over. You're looking to add fans. You can add me to your list. And what are you at now? What in terms of how many fans? Not 308. Maybe 3,080, 30,800, maybe 300,800, or 803 or something, or 380.
I'd like to have about 30,800,000 if I could have them. But right now I think I'm sitting at close to 200,000 fans.
Wow.
And and the people that have listened to my music, I can only identify them by people that have listened to my music. So people have either streamed or listened to that album almost 200,000 times. So I'm going to say that's a pretty good bit of people. And I don't know if you, I think I know if I know 100 people, I'm lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, seriously, if I seriously could name you 100 people, I'd be very, very lucky. Because you just, you really don't know everybody, you know what I mean? So like 200,000 is like just unfathomable.
Mm-hmm. And of course, take 308 and 100 right there. It's like you do 100-fold. You've done your job and keep going too. So
I'm with you on that.
And of course, nowadays with the whole spectrum as well too. Back in the day, it's like you compete with the big networks and you try to get 1 million listeners and more. And what's nice about what you're doing is you take a handful and you consider successful. And just starting a new trend as well too, like 308, 308, 308. And just build a fan base, and almost like you create your own. Yeah.
I mean, you almost have to do that anyway with anything. You got to create it. you have to almost will this to happen. You got to keep straight and narrow, and you got to keep genuine in your heart. You've got to be pure of this, man. You got to keep God in your heart, man. You got to do what you got to do, and you got to keep pushing. You keep pushing whatever you need to use it, whether it's a mathematical formula or however. 308 sounds good to me, man. Just take 308 times 308 times 308, man, and keep going. You know what I mean? Just, and some of these little towns I went to didn't have but 400 people in them. How about that?
Really?
Yeah, some of these little towns Seneca only had 30 people in it.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, so you could basically go find towns that have 308 people, 300 people, and 400 people. And that's what it's all been about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is a little bit, a little bit here, a little bit here. I call it one heart at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one heart at a time tour, and that's what this tour in 2020 is going to be. Because I feel like if you can touch one heart at a time, man, you've done some really great things. So
I was just going to talk to you about your 2020 tour as well, too, and some of your plans. And what are some of the cities you have lined up for 2020?
Well, right now they're working on that, so I don't have anything definitive yet because it takes a little bit of time. But they are working on the Midwest, and the Heartland right now for the spring and the summer. I already mentioned to you that there's a possibility we're going to be getting out to back out to Nebraska and up into the Chadron area. I'm looking to want to go to Sturgis this year if I can, because it's the 80th anniversary and it's going to be huge. I'm looking to go everywhere I can and follow the weather. So starting in the spring, I'd like to go, probably stay a little bit in the south because it's still a little cool, and then work my summer up into the northern Midwest and into the Heartland, then over to the west coast, and then on back to Florida. So that's the plan.
That's amazing, too, and to keep us up to date in your tour schedule. Love to have you on in 2020 with some new projects, new material, and everything else. And, of course, just wanted to, ask a few things as well, too. What do you consider your most defining moment in your career?
Oh, winning the Song of the Year for the Posy Awards. It changed my life forever.
That is amazing, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, really? Wow. He's
Well,
one of my favorites as well, too, and he was also part of Wings. That was like one of the favorite groups I had. It's just my first obsession as a kid, Speed of Sound,
Right.
Wings Over America, and, oh, gosh, what else?
Yeah,
It's
well,
like
him and Lennon were. I really studied them very hard. Like I'd take the songs that John Lennon and Paul McCartney wrote, even in their separate years. I took the songs and I'd break them down. I'd break them down into the chord structures, and I would figure out what was the formulas that they were using. And man, these guys were amazing. I mean, they broke rules, but it was amazing what they did. I learned a lot from them. I really did. I learned a lot by studying them, not just listening to them. So.
Nice. Okay. We'll talk more about that next time as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Never quit and never say die. And just when you fall, if you think you're falling down one time, get back up again, because that may be the time that you make it.
That is fantastic. And Train, just want to say a big thank you very much for your time. We have our guest once again, Anthony Train Caruso from 308 Ghost Train. Make sure you catch the Ghost Train. Before you get back on the train here, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase your music?
They can go to www.308ghosttrain.com to learn more about the 308 Ghost Train, and go to the pages and read the media and the press and everything that people have been so kindly and graciously saying. You can go to Spotify, 308 Ghost Train. You can join me on Facebook at 308 Ghost Train. You can join me on Instagram at 308 Ghost Train Band. Anywhere pretty much if you Google 308 Ghost Train, I think I'm the only one in the world with that name. So I come up first in everything. So it's a pretty cool thing that people don't have to search too far to find different things on me. YouTube, 308 Ghost Train channel. Once you get that thing down, what the name of the group is 308 Ghost Train, you can find me pretty much anywhere.
That's fantastic. And save me a seat. I'm looking forward to getting on the train, and thank you very much for your time. You've just been fantastic and inspiring. Looking forward to having you on again soon, and do us a favor, keep us updated. Love to have you back on.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike, and you have a wonderful night, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.